Hello and welcome to this week's Crimepedia. I am your host this week. I'm Cherry, and with me, as always, is the man that can. It's my co-host. It's Morgan.
Hello. Hello there.
Hello.
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 Well, hello there.
Well, hello there.
We also have to say a hello to a new Patreon. I'm loving this every week. New Patreon. So exciting. We've got another one in the club. We've got Julie. So hello and thank you to the lovely Julie for joining our crew.
Thank you, Julie.
We're actually starting a bit of an army. We're getting quite a few of you all together, which is fun.
I know.
So yes, we have, basically, why should you be a Patreon? There's a lot of fun things that we do over on our Patreon. We have a bonus episode every week. So we normally have an episode just before we do this episode. So it's usually an unedited episode of us just basically chatting about what's happened this week and what's going on. So that's good. It's good fun.
It's kind of like what we used to do when we actually started the show.
Yeah.
But we moved over to Crimepedia Extra, and now it's a little expanded.
Yeah. We do it for a bit longer, and people won't moan at us for talking too much, because otherwise we get in trouble for talking too much at the beginning of an episode. So, yeah. If you want to join our Patreon, just pop over to patreon.com, check out Crimepedia, and it will show you. And we've got Patrons for as little as like $2 a month, which is like cheap. We are cheap and nasty.
Yep. And we'll definitely have some things planned for our Patreons for our patrons that are going to be in Las Vegas next year for CrimeCon.
Yes, we do. We've got some exclusive Patreon stuff, nice secret squirrel stuff, which will be fun. So yeah, it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be good.
So,
do we have anything else we need to talk about this week before we get into our episode?
Well, real quickly, I just want to congratulate you and to say thank you for one wonderful year of hosting the show with me.
Oh, it's so exciting. It's our 1-year anniversary today. So exciting. And I couldn't have a better co-host. So thank you for being the best co-host, because you're amazing. And I love working with you.
Absolutely. And I want to thank our wonderful listeners.
Yeah.
Seeing us through this first year.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, when we might have been a little rough, to now when we are nice and polished.
We're a bit more rough. No, yeah. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for sharing our podcast with all your friends. And thank you for all your really lovely comments and interactions that you have with us. We do really appreciate it. And happy dances are done every time we do get messages and stuff like that.
We do.
We get very excited. Yeah. I still can't believe it. I can't believe we've been doing this for a whole year. We've lasted a whole year together.
I know.
It's amazing.
But it's weird for me. I think that it feels like it's been longer than a year to me.
It does.
I feel like we've been doing this forever.
Yeah, it does. It's lovely. It does feel like we've always done this. It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, and this Crimepedia came together pretty quickly.
It did.
Last summer.
Yeah.
I think I first had you kind of join me on Captain and Morgan, probably in the end of June or something like that, maybe.
Yeah.
And I think about at some point we're like, maybe we should do this.
We should do this, and then we're like, yeah. And then somebody said, didn't they? Who was it who said? One of our friends said, you guys should do this together. You should do a podcast. And we were like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
It was one of
Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny. That's right. It was Jen. Yeah. She
Jenny
said,
did.
You guys should do this.
She said that like a year before we ended up doing it, which is funny, right?
It's funny. Yeah. Oh.
And it's still insane that people, when they find out that we've never actually physically met each other.
Not for long, because we will do soon.
I know.
So excited.
No, we're not married.
No.
We're not married. We are not dating.
No.
We've never met.
No. I know. It's funny the things that people come up with for stuff like that for us, isn't it? Are you guys dating? No. I'm in England. He's in America. He's got a wife. I've got a husband. So no, there's nothing exciting going on there. Sorry. Oh, people are funny. I love it.
No, they are.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
So I've got not fun, but I've got a very interesting, on a sort of investigative level, I've got a good case for you this week to get your mind around. I'm really interested to see what you're going to come together with this, with the facts that I give you. It's a little bit different to what we normally do. And this was a listener suggestion again. This is from Emma on Instagram. And she messaged me on Instagram and said, Cherry, look, this has got a mostly harmless feel about it. It's local to where I am. Would you guys have a look at it? And I said, oh, yeah, okay, I'll have a look. Oh my God, rabbit hole. I started looking into it and then there
Oh
was
no.
messages to
Okay.
her and I backwards and forwards. Oh my goodness, I think this. And she's like, yeah, maybe I think this. I've then been speaking to people in Ireland about this case. The Garda didn't want to talk to me. So there we go. There's a surprise.
Oh, poor.
But yeah, so couldn't get hold of the Garda. But yeah, this is going to be an interesting one this week.
I'm excited.
Are
I'm
you
excited to
ready?
hear the story, and I am absolutely ready.
Right, let's go. Sligo is a small coastal seaport in County Sligo in northwest Ireland. It's known for its literary heritage and beautiful rugged countryside. Sligo County Museum displays memorabilia of local poet W.B. Yeats, paintings and Stone Age artefacts. It lies along Sligo Bay and the River Garavogue between Lough Gill and the sea. Sligo's Roman Catholic Cathedral serves the Diocese of Elphin, and there's a Church of Ireland cathedral. Sligo has ruins of castles and friaries dating back from the 13th century. And the award-winning beach at Ross's Point, 8 kilometres from Sligo, offers visitors a long stretch of clean, fine sand backed by low, grassy dunes. The bay is popular with windsurfers and other water sports enthusiasts, and in the summer, the beach is an excellent choice for family excursions. But is it also somewhere you'd come to end your life? Could that be what the plan was for an unknown man in June 2009? Did he choose that beach as his final place? And why is no one missing him? And why don't we know who he is? This is Crimepedia. But who is Peter Bergmann? Okay, Morgan, so on Friday the 12th of June 2009, at Ulster Bus Depot in Derry, a man boarded a bus headed to Sligo Station. Now, he was carrying a black shoulder bag and a standard carry-on luggage bag. I've had a look on the maps, and this is a journey that takes around 2.5 hours around them. He arrived at about 18:28 at the Sligo bus station and took a taxi to the Sligo City Hotel. Now, here, he paid for the night, per night, in cash. He checked in under the name Peter Bergmann, and his address that he gave was Einstenston, I think that's how you say it. So it's 15-4472 Vienna, Austria. Okay. He wasn't asked to produce any identification at the desk. Now, I've since found out that all hotels and bed and breakfasts are supposed to comply with legislation and are legally obliged to ask for ID. But on this occasion, they didn't. I bet they do now, but they didn't at the time. Now, he checked into room 705. He is an older man with a slender build, short grey hair, and appeared to be in his late 50s to 60s, I'd say. He was about 5'10", so quite tall, which is like in your speak, 1.79 meters tall. He had blue eyes and a tanned complexion. Now, it was believed that he was possibly German, as he spoke English, but he had a thick German accent. He was very neatly groomed, nicely put together. His face was clean shaven, and his hair was clean and combed, and he wore a black leather jacket. Now, during his stay at the hotel, the man was seen on security camera footage leaving the building with a purple plastic bag. Now, each time he left, the plastic bag was full of items. However, every time he returned back to the hotel, he was no longer carrying the bag and no longer had any items. So the authorities were unable to identify what he had in this bag and basically where it went. The thought is that he went around town disposing of these items in public rubbish bins, and that the blind spots of the surveillance cameras basically acted as a bit of a shield to him. So he was able to go around town utilizing these surveillance cameras to his advantage. He worked, the way he went about it, I've looked at some of these, and the way he went about it is very meticulous, like very methodical, as to like almost like he knew exactly where he was going to be going at each time. So he left the hotel every day, a bag full of possessions or something. And every time he returned back to the hotel later, there was nothing in that bag.
Huh.
But again, he would go out the next day with the bag full again.
Would you say that it seemed like he was familiar with the area?
Yeah, well, I think so. Either he was familiar with the area or he's planned this out because he seemed to know exactly where he was going at each time. It wasn't like he was wandering around aimlessly. It's almost like he was going with a purpose. On the Saturday, the 13th of June, Peter was seen walking to the General Post Office at about 10 to 11 in the morning, and he bought 82-cent stamps with airmail stickers. Okay. Now, back in
Okay, wait.
2009, so eight stamps,
82 cents.
and they were 82-cent stamps. Yeah, back in 2009, it cost 55 cents to post a letter within Ireland. And it cost, so an 82-cent stamp would take a letter anywhere in the rest of the world. But obviously, he's also bought airmail stickers. So there's obviously, he's going to be doing this, sending letters abroad.
He's sending 8 letters abroad.
8 letters abroad. Yeah. So, so there's that. Now, the following day, so this would be Sunday, the 14th of June, he left the Sligo City Hotel between 11 and 11:30. And he asked the taxi driver recommendations for a nice quiet beach where he could swim. So the taxi driver said he thought that Ross's Point would be the best place to go and then drove him to Ross's Point so he could see it. So he agreed, said it was really nice, and he returned with the same taxi and was dropped off at the bus station in Sligo again. Now, on Monday the 15th of June, Peter had requested a late checkout of the hotel. He checked out of the hotel at 1:06, handed in his room key. He was wearing a long sleeve pale blue shirt, a black tank top, dark trousers, and his black leather jacket. Now, when he left, he had a black shoulder bag, a purple plastic bag, and a different black luggage bag. So it wasn't the same black carry-on luggage bag as when he first arrived in Sligo. So he's got different luggage. Now, he walked to the bus station via Quay Street, Wine Street, and then stopped at the Quayside Shopping Centre and sort of waited in the doorway for a few minutes of this shopping centre. But it was really awkward, the way he was kind of like stood in the doorway. It was a bit weird. Not like he was waiting for any one particular, more like he was avoiding something, He was carrying all those bags still when he was in the Quayside Shopping Centre. And at 1:38, he ordered a cappuccino and a toasted ham and cheese sandwich. Okay. At the bus station. He did this. So a cappuccino and a toasted ham and cheese sandwich at the bus station. Now, whilst he was eating his food, he was looking at little bits of paper that he kept pulling out of his pocket. After he read them, he tore the paper in half and threw it away into a nearby rubbish bin.
Okay.
Which is strange. Now, he mounted a bus that departed at 2:20 for Ross's Point, so the beach that he was spoken to the taxi driver about. And it was reported that he was seen by 16 people whilst walking on the beach. And I've read lots of witness statements, and they said that that he was walking up and down the beach and that he casually greeted people. A few people said good morning to him and good afternoon to him, and he was like good afternoon too. Now, the final sighting of Peter Bergmann alive was by a woman at 11:50 p.m. that night. Now, he was carrying a plastic bag and walking along by the edge of the incoming tide. Now, high tide would be within about half an hour of 11:50, give or take. So, early hours of the morning. Now, the following morning, on the 16th of June, at around 6:45, Arthur Kinsella and his son Brian were making their way down to Ross's Point Beach. Brian was training for a triathlon and his dad was there to help out with the training. The tide was actually out and Arthur was walking onto the beach. He saw something really unusual to his right-hand side. It sort of caught his eye as he was walking. Not far from the slipway, a bit close to the rocks, someone was lying face down near the water. So they walked over and saw a man lying face down. He was wearing purple striped Speedo type swimming trunks with his underpants, navy underpants over the top. Okay. And he had a navy t-shirt tucked into them. He was wearing a waterproof quartz watch on his left wrist. And unfortunately, they could see that the man was dead. But to be sure, Arthur walked around the body and then touched his ankle. And he said he was stone cold. So they knew for definite that he had died. So they said the Lord's Prayer and then called the Garda. And at 8:10, Dr. Valerie McGowan officially pronounced the man dead. Okay, so we've got this guy on the beach. Now, Sergeant Terry McMahon had been on duty since 6 a.m. that morning at Sligo Garda Station. He dispatched some colleagues out after Arthur's call, and then he went to a storeroom to try and get some sort of tarpaulin or cover to obviously cover over the body, because there's going to be people walking on the beach and it's not a very nice sight for people to see. He arrived about 10 minutes after the colleagues as they were taking statements from Arthur and his son. Now, Sergeant McMahon said that his colleagues searched the beach for the rest of Peter's belongings, because he was literally in these Speedos. He's not got a lot of stuff with him, no belongings. So they're wondering, has he been washed up on the beach, or has he gone for a swim and he's drowned and he's been washed back up? Or, they discovered a pile of clothes on a rock on the beach, clothes that matched the description of what witnesses were later to say they had seen him wearing that day, the previous day. No one else claimed the items. So no other swimmers had come back and said, oh, my stuff's all gone. That was mine. So they guessed that this should be his stuff. Now, it appeared that he had taken off some black Finn comfort shoes. They're leather shoes, and they're size 44.
Okay.
Made in 2002 in Germany. So again, this brings us back to the German aspect. We know that people said that the taxi driver, the people at the hotel, said that he spoke with a really thick German accent. He had dark socks on, which he had put back into his shoes, which is not abnormal. Then his trousers were navy C&A chino trousers. Now, C&A is a company, I don't even know if they're still going, but in England, as far as I know, we don't have C&A anymore. I think they all closed, but I'm not sure about the rest of the world. But we're talking, this was back, it's back a while ago, 2009. So he had a black sleeveless V-neck Tommy Hilfiger jumper, which I think is like the tank top that he was seen wearing on the hotel CCTV. He had a black leather C&A jacket with him and a leather belt called Key West USA, which was made in Italy. And they were all folded really neatly on top of each other. So almost like you'd taken them all off, folded them all up neatly and gone for a swim. There were no towels, though, which makes me think, okay, he's not gone for a swim because he's not taken a towel with him to dry off after.
Mm-hmm.
And he's checked out of the hotel. So,
this is strange.
I know.
Okay. Let me just start off by saying, I can't imagine that the beach in Sligo or the water in Sligo is a very nice area to swim. I would imagine
it's beautiful.
It's cold.
Oh yeah, cold. Yeah, it will be cold. Yeah,
cold, beautiful, but cold.
Yeah.
The other thing is let's say, so I don't know. Why would you not have a towel
if you're going for a swim?
If you're going for a swim, and you're going for a swim, assumingly early in the morning, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, he was last seen at 11:50 the night before, and then he was found 6:45 in the morning. So he was on the beach at like
swimming overnight.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
Here's some more weird stuff. The clothes had all their labels cut out of them. So all his clothes had their labels hacked out. All 3 items of clothing had.
Why?
I don't know. Some of the name brands could still be seen because I C&A chinos, but the actual labels had all been cut out. So I know that sometimes in charity shops they cut the labels. That's the only reason I can think that the labels would have been cut. I know that they do that in some charity shops because I had a friend that used to work in one, and I remember saying to her, "Why have you cut the labels?" She said, "We just cut the labels out."
Okay, just for clarity for me, what was he actually wearing again?
So when they found him on the beach, he was wearing purple striped Speedo type swimming trunks, but on top of that, he was wearing navy underpants over the top of his swim shorts.
Oh,
I know. He also had a navy t-shirt tucked into those, and his watch. That's all he was wearing.
That's strange.
Yeah, it is strange.
Okay, if you were to say, oh yeah, he's wearing a Speedo and then a rasher, right?
Yeah.
Like a swim shirt.
Like a swim shirt. Yeah, like a swim vest. Yeah.
Or even if you're like, yeah, Speedo and then a t-shirt on or something. Yeah. Okay, fine.
But not underpants over the top of your Speedos.
No. That doesn't make any sense.
No. And the fact that it makes no sense to me is the towel. If you were going for a swim, you've not got a towel. I mean, maybe you forgot the towel, but I mean, really, if you're going for a swim, surely you make sure you've got a towel. Now, in his pockets, he had 140 euros in notes and 9 euros in coins. Okay. He had an envelope with the money in it. He had a packet of tissues, 55 milligrams of aspirin, which were made by Bayer, which is manufactured in the Czech Republic and distributed in Germany again. So Germany keeps cropping up the whole way through this all the time. He also had a bar of hotel soap, which was in an unopened blue plastic wrapper, printed with mild soap hotel care. But when they subsequently investigated it, it was not a brand of soap made or stocked in any of the hotels in Ireland.
Okay, first question. Can you not get bear in England?
I don't know, actually. I'll have a look.
Because bear is a name brand here.
Oh, is
you
it?
You can get bear in the United States. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So everyone knows what bear is.
Okay.
I mean,
I've never heard of it.
You're going.
No, I've never heard of it.
You get, so you can get Tylenol, you can get Aleve, whatever. But bear is a brand that you can get.
Right.
It's like a name brand bear or name brand drug. Yeah.
Okay. I've never actually heard of it, to be honest. So I'm not sure if you can get it here.
Interesting. Okay.
I've got it online. It's their headquarters is in Leverkusen in Germany. So yeah. Whoa, 43.54 billion revenue. Wowzers.
Yeah.
There's money in medicine.
Yes. A lot.
A lot of money in medicine. Okay, so that's what he had in his pockets. Okay, so he's got this soap that nowhere in Ireland actually stocks that soap. They've checked. Now, the thing that I thought was a bit weird, there's items missing, okay? In the still pictures I've sent you and we'll put on our social, Peter is smoking outside the hotel and he's smoking in quite a few of the pictures. He's got no cigarettes with him at the beach, okay? In his personal possessions, no lighter, no matches, nothing, okay? His glasses, which he's wearing a lot, missing. Okay, possibly he could have gone into the water with his glasses on and they've come off and they're drifting along the bottom of the sea somewhere, but they're missing. Okay, the stamps that he bought in the post office are gone. So he's obviously mailed the letters.
Used them, yeah.
The long sleeve blue shirt he was wearing when he left the Sligo City Hotel is not there. And the black shoulder bag and the purple plastic bag, not there. Okay. Also, no ID of any kind. Now, we know he wasn't asked for any ID when he checked into the hotel anyway, but he had nothing. No ID on him at all, which I think is really strange. He's got nothing with him. So he's got nothing to identify him whatsoever.
And where were his other clothes that he had? So leather jacket. We know he had a leather jacket.
On the beach. Yeah, that was on the beach. Yeah.
That was on the beach.
That was on the beach folded up.
White dress shirt.
The dress shirt wasn't there.
Dress shirt was not there.
No.
The jeans.
Now, they were chinos. They were there. Dark blue chinos.
He had those, but he actually had it looks like in one of these pictures, he's wearing
jeans.
Yep,
not there.
At one point.
Nope, not there.
Looks like in a picture he has on maybe a navy sweater.
Yep.
Navy type sweater.
I think that might be the V-neck. The V-neck navy Tommy Hilfiger jumper was there. So I think that could be that one.
Okay. So we know so the white shirt, dress shirt, missing.
Yep. They think that's a light blue shirt, that one. But yeah, missing.
Oh, okay.
His bags are missing. His other bags are missing. The purple bag's missing.
And let me go back just a little bit. And where were the clothes that were folded up? Where were they located on the beach?
So they were found on the beach, just on some rocks, just not very far from where Peter's body was found.
Okay. So my thought was, is it possible, because we talked about there was no towel around. Is it possible that the towel was down closer to the water and it might have been taken out during tides?
That's a good point. Yeah, could have been. He could have left it closer so when he got out of the water, he could put it straight on. That's interesting. So all the items and the clothes that were found, everything that was in the pockets, they're still in storage at the moment at Sligo Garda Station. They're in a big cardboard box with a label on the lid that says clothing, personal items of unidentified body at Ross's Point, 16th to the 6th, 2009. Isn't that sad? All his belongings are just in a cardboard box in a police station somewhere, just waiting for somebody to do that. Now, the officers looked into the information that Peter gave the hotel. Now, there is no such street as A&nbsp. Now, I'll spell this to you because I'm probably not saying it right. So it's AINSTETTERSN. So
Okay.
Einsturten. There's no such
Yeah.
There's no such street as that. Now, Vienna, I think it's spelled Wien, which is also Vienna.
Okay.
Now, Austria
Yes.
does have a postal code system, but
Okay.
it only uses combinations of 4 digits, and the codes run
Okay.
from 1000 to 1901. So not what Peter Bergmann gave the people at the hotel.
What did he give?
So
Do we have
he
that?
said it was Einsternten 15 4472 Vienna, Austria.
Okay. So the
So the road
I
doesn't
assume that's
exist.
this road, and then the
The postcode doesn't
4-4.
doesn't exist. It's not
And
a
it was, what was
place.
it? 4-4 what?
4472 Vienna.
4. Okay.
And that
Interesting.
doesn't exist at all.
Yeah.
And there's not anything that even sounds like that either, because I've had a look through, and there's no roads that sound that similar to that you could have like maybe spelt the handwriting wrong or read the handwriting wrong. So he's obviously given wrong information to the desk, and because they didn't ask him to prove his identity, obviously it didn't go noticed by then. It went unnoticed. Now, Clive Kilgallen conducted the autopsy on Peter Bergmann on Wednesday, June the 17th, 2009 at Sligo University Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And there were 2 very unexpected pieces of information during this autopsy. Even though Peter had been found washed up on the Ross's Point beach, the pathologist found no sign of classical saltwater drowning.
Oh.
So he didn't drown. Okay. All the evidence basically pointed, from the police's point of view, that a man had waited until darkness to go swimming, perhaps with the intention of never returning, but he hadn't died by drowning. So he hasn't gone out there to commit suicide and drowned and been washed back up, because he didn't die from drowning. He also had terminal prostate cancer.
Oh, I was going to ask that.
It was so advanced that the ME believed that he couldn't have been unaware of the illness. It would have been very painful. It had spread to his bones, his chest, his lungs, and he estimated that the prognosis was weeks at most.
I was going to ask about that, because in the pictures that you sent me, there's a few pictures where you look at him and he looks very gaunt.
Yes. Yeah,
right? He looks frail.
Frail.
In some of these pictures.
Very white.
Yeah. He does. Yeah.
So the cause of death was given as acute cardiac arrest, which is a heart attack. A standard toxicology report was done, but there was nothing to report.
Okay.
But then that doesn't test for, say, banned substances or things like that.
They're only testing for the things that they're testing for. It's not an all encompassing test.
Yeah.
Well, they want to test for a specific drug, they have to actually test for that.
They have to ask for specific ones. Yeah. Now, the medical examiner said that due to his heart attacks, because it looks like he's had previous heart attacks, and the health status that his body was in, he would have been in significant pain and would have required prescription pain medication, or at least over-the-counter pain relief. Aspirin, obviously, he was found with, but aspirin's not going to do much, not when you're in that much pain.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
I know. So after a 5-month investigation, the body of Peter Bergmann was buried in Sligo. The funeral was attended by 4 Garda, the grave digger, and another employee. His body was buried in a grave for unidentified people, which usually has 3 bodies per grave. Now, there was already a body in the grave, and then Peter was put on top, but the authorities have decided not to bury another body above Peter in case they need to exhume him in the future.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't like the idea of that. That's horrible, isn't it?
No.
Now, in 2015, this is where I think it starts to get a bit weird. In 2015, the French newspaper Le Monde reported that they had contacted the Austrian police about the case, and that the Austrian police commented that the Garda had never contacted them. Le Monde also said there is currently no Interpol notice for the unidentified man, saying, and then Interpol basically said, you fall into 2 categories in Interpol, missing person or wanted person. Well, it's neither. He wasn't listed as any of the missing people, and obviously he wasn't wanted for anything. And they said it would be up to the country of his origin to report him as missing. But but we obviously don't know which country he comes from. He speaks with a German accent. He speaks very good English. He could be from Austria. He could be from Germany. He could be from anywhere. Now, as of August 2021, he's still unidentified.
Okay, question. Was it a legit... I don't know. You can't answer this. Was it a legit German accent or was it a put on?
Well, apparently, everybody that I've watched interviews of, everybody said he had a thick German accent. It was a very broad German accent. I mean, when you look at him as well, I think he looks Germanish, Austrianish, that kind of... I think he looks like he's from that part of the world. I would have guessed German. Not Austrian, because I think they're a bit similar, but I would have said German.
I don't think he is.
Do you not?
Just tell me. I don't think he is.
You think, oh, maybe he's putting on the accent and using the address to maybe throw people off the scent?
He does. It's obvious to me. Well, obvious to me at least. He doesn't want people to know who he is.
No, he doesn't.
Right?
Yeah.
He's hiding who he is in his motives and what he's doing. Right? If you are from Germany or Austria and you have a terminal illness and you know you have a few weeks to live.
Yeah.
The last thing that you're really going to do is you're going to go to Sligo, Ireland to live out your last days. Right? So the question is, what's taking him? Well, first off, what's taking him to Derry, and then what's taking him to Sligo, and why does he choose Sligo?
That's exactly the question.
I mean, look, if I was, living out my last few days, and I'm terminal, I would want to spend my last few days or weeks or whatever in a place that I love or that I have a fond connection.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, is it possible that as a little boy from Austria, his parents decided to, holiday in Sligo Island? I suppose
maybe,
so.
Yeah. Could he have met his first love there? Could he have met his wife there? Could it have a connection like that for him?
I think it's possible. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility.
It's interesting you say you don't think he's German, because there were public appeals in Austrian and German newspapers where his photo was widely spread. Sligo police have retained his DNA, but obviously that can't tell you exactly who he is unless you've got something to identify it to.
Yeah.
Okay. So this brings me to the what, the where, and the how. Okay. We know how he died. We know he died from a heart attack. Could it be that he just decided to have, he knew he was going to die. He went to Sligo to have one last dip in the sea. But then why would he ask for a beach that he could swim in? He would have asked specifically for a certain beach if it was a memory of his, if it was a special place to him. So the beach isn't a special place to him. Could it be that he went to Sligo because that's got some sort of emotional connection for him? These letters that he's mailed, he's obviously bought the stamps for a reason. He's obviously mailed letters somewhere. So is this letters to say goodbye to somebody? Are these letters to finalize affairs? Because back then you wouldn't have cell phones. There'd be no mobile phones. Well, they would. It's 2009. There would be, but somebody his age probably wouldn't have a mobile phone. But I wonder if maybe he was sending letters off to finalize stuff, to close accounts, or if they were goodbye letters, I think somebody somewhere would have noticed that he's gone. He would be somewhere on a missing persons list, or, or strange thing. I read another case very similar to this one where a guy had left all of his family, gone away, but had died. But the family had thought, because he had cut ties with them, they just thought he was off living his life somewhere else and didn't actually know that he had died. He actually committed suicide, and they were unaware that he was even dead. So could this be that somebody somewhere, not in Germany and not in Austria, is missing a dad? I mean, does he have children? Did he have a wife? Surely he's got neighbors or a doctor, or he's not a nothing, is he? There's got to be something about him somewhere.
This is the other thing that kind of makes me question if he's actually from Germany or Austria. Maybe originally. Maybe okay.
Yeah.
But to me, the biggest thing that stands out to me is that he was first seen in Derry.
Yeah, that's where,
right? So if you were going to be flying from Vienna, right? You're going to be flying into more than likely a place like
Dublin, yeah.
Or maybe Belfast,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're not going to be flying into Derry. If you're flying into Derry, you're more than likely flying in from somewhere in
England,
England.
yeah.
So that doesn't make sense to me for someone that's coming from an international location
To come into
to
a
end up
small, yeah.
into Derry. Yeah.
That's a really good point, actually. I didn't think of it like that. That's a really good point. This is why we do the podcast together. The other thing,
But you
now
know what I
you've said
mean?
that about the whole accent thing, the other thing
Yeah.
like that, he told the desk that obviously wrote down that he was from Austria. He also told the taxi driver he was from Austria. So now you've said that,
Okay.
I'm wondering if he's saying that so that they mention it when he's gone. They mention he's from
Like, oh
Austria
yeah, I
to
met
throw
that
them
bloke.
off the scent.
He said he's from
Yeah,
Austria.
exactly, to throw him off the scent. I never thought of that before.
But why would he? Okay, this opens up a whole nother question. Wouldn't he want someone to
Yes,
know who he is
this is
or
the
where
other
he's from?
thing. Why? Because if he was going to die anyway, obviously he's not
Who
going to be around
cares?
anymore. If he's got family, then I don't understand why you would go to these lengths to not want anyone to know who you are.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, like if you go missing and you die, your family's gonna just assume you're dead at some point. So why does it matter?
Yeah. So what is he hiding? Why doesn't he want
If
anyone to
he's
know who he is?
Yeah, if he's a wanted criminal,
Yeah.
he's
He's
dead.
dead anyway. That's right. So they're not going to put him in prison because he's already dead. So I'm wondering, did he go down to the beach to have a swim, but unfortunately had a heart attack? But then I think if he did do that, where's the towel?
Where's everything? Everything besides what he has.
Yeah, where's his bag? Why is he going around town depositing his belongings into bins or getting rid of them somewhere? We
Exactly.
don't know that they're definitely in bins, but we know that he's out of I mean, there's loads of CCTV of him all the way around town. There's loads of it. You can see him walking with his little bag.
I may have missed this, but did he check out of
Yes. Yeah, he did. He asked for a
Okay, so he
later
did check
checkout.
out.
Yeah, he asked for a later
Oh, that's
checkout
right,
on
that's
that
right, that's right.
day. And
So he knew that he
Yeah.
wasn't going back.
yeah, he knew he wasn't going to be going back. So was he thinking of committing suicide on his own terms, Because I know that there are people, and I totally understand that, you've been given a terminal diagnosis, but they want to go on their own terms. They want to go before they get to the point where they're going to be, incapacitated and, not great. Could he be planned that, but then had a heart attack because he's had heart attacks before and his body's weak and,
Yeah.
Was he planning to just swim out and die?
That brings me back to my question once again. Why Sligo?
Yeah.
Why Derry? Why Sligo?
Well, maybe it's got some sort of emotional connection for him. Maybe there's maybe he's always wanted to go, or I don't know. There's got to be a reason why you'd go to Sligo. Why?
Yeah. And I don't want to I'm not sitting here and I don't want to talk bad about Sligo. I've never been there. But I'm saying I'm sure there's a million places you can go to in the world,
Yeah.
and
why there?
you choose Sligo.
There's got to be a reason that he was there. There's got to be some sort of emotional connection for him to go back there. Maybe he was born there. Maybe his mum was born there. Maybe his mum died
possibly.
there. Maybe his wife was from there and she's dead already and they're on their own. Maybe they haven't got any kids. Maybe they haven't got any family left.
Is there a estimate about how old he would have been?
About 50 to 60.
About 50 to 60.
Yeah. So between 50 and 60. What I'm thinking is there's got to be some sort of medical records. He's, you would think there's some medical records. He doesn't look homeless, okay? He looks very kept together. He's got money on him.
He does.
So he looks like, he's traveled, he stayed in the hotel, he's got money. No cash point cards, though. He's only got cash with him. He's got no ID whatsoever, no passport either. So if he's flown in from another country, he must have had a passport to fly in to Ireland or to get into Ireland from another country. He would have had a passport. Has that been deposited with all his other belongings? And what has he got rid of? What was why, if it was just clothes and stuff, why couldn't he just leave those clothes at the beach with his other stuff in his bag? Why has he got rid of it all?
You want to know what else is weird to me now that I'm looking at this? Okay. So I'm looking at the photos that you sent me. I don't know if you still have those up.
Yeah, I've got them here, yeah.
He got his hair cut.
Yes.
He cut his hair.
His hair's cut from when you see him at the desk, the picture of him at the desk, he's got quite bushy white hair. Then when you see him later, his hair's very cropped short.
Yeah. Why would you why? Yeah, and the photo from the morgue. Yeah, you can tell.
He's had his hair
He cut his hair.
Yeah.
And it's not like his hair was looked like it was out of control or anything.
He just looks like he's smartened himself up. He looks very peaceful, though, in his mortuary photo. He looks very peaceful.
He does.
He does look really.
And you could tell. You can absolutely tell from that photo he did not drown.
Yeah, you can tell
because there's no bloating.
No.
There's no
Well, he's found very quickly, wasn't he? He was found very quickly from.
He was, yeah.
From when he, but I think it was, he's folded his little socks up and put them inside his shoes before he's folded all his clothes up, put them all neatly. It's very methodical, and I wonder if he's got some sort of military background, because this was very planned, very. It was all done. But he was very polite, very friendly to people when they saw him. I just find this. One side of me thinks this is what he wanted to do. He's done this himself, how he wanted, and really should be looking into and trying to solve it, because this is what he wanted. He's gone to great lengths to stop people from finding out who he is. There's got to be a reason for that. The other side of me thinks, why? Why has he gone to these lengths? What is he hiding? What is he trying to stop people from finding out? And then, I don't know, it's like devil on my shoulder and like angel on my shoulder. One saying just leave it, that's just what he wanted. The other one go, yeah, but why? Why did he want that? What is he trying to hide from people? Is there something? I don't know what there could be. I don't really, and that annoys me, because I like puzzles. I like to fix things. And it annoys me that there's no, those letters that he sent. Did he send letters to people saying, look, don't look for me. I don't want you to find me. 8 letters. It's a lot. That's a lot. 8 stamps.
It is.
So that's potentially 8 letters. It could be he just did 1 letter, but they weren't found anywhere with his stuff.
Like this case, and just like with the unknown hiker,
mostly harmless. Ben Balemi.
Mostly harmless.
Yeah.
There's something just really sad.
Yeah, it is sad
about cases like this.
Yeah.
I'm sure that he went out the way. I think he did go out the way he wanted to on his own terms, right?
Yeah.
But there's something sad about just your last few days just being alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing that I think bothers me about this is it's so planned. He goes to the hotel, he checks in, pays by cash, doesn't have any ID with him, isn't asked for ID. He then goes around every single day meticulously with a bag full of stuff every day. By the time he comes back to the hotel, it's empty. He goes back out the next day, same bag full of stuff again, comes back empty. He's got no belongings. He's sat at the bus station where he knows where he's going. He's going to the beach, ripping up tiny pieces of paper from his pocket. What is that? Is that like little affirmations? What is it in his pocket that he keeps reading and throwing away? There's got to be someone somewhere who knows who he is. Someone. There's got to be a corner shop that he used to buy his paper in, or a local supermarket that he used to get his food from, or a neighbor, or someone must know who that man is. Someone in the world knows who he is. Even if it's not a family, even if he's got no family and no friends, somebody's seen him. He's got to have lived somewhere. He's got to have come from somewhere.
That's crazy. Whoa. And where the beach where he was at is that right? Dead Man's Point?
Yep, Dead Man's Point. I was going to tell you that, yeah. So the beach where, that's what it's called, way. Dead Man's Point.
That is crazy.
So did he know that before he went there? Because he had a map with him in the taxi. So did he know that that's what it was called beforehand, and just ask the taxi driver, where's the best beach for me to go to for a swim? And he's gone, oh, I know, there's 2 really nice ones. Like, you can go here and here. And he's gone, oh, yeah, okay, could you take me to that one? I want to see what it's like. Because he went there the day before. So he'd been there.
Wait, but if he asked the taxi driver what a good place to be, then he's never been there before,
exactly.
Right?
That's what I said to you earlier. It's not like he knew about that beach because he asked the taxi driver, can you tell me somewhere that's good to swim? Well, if he had already been there, he would know that beach.
So there's no connection to that beach.
The beach itself, no.
Possibly.
Maybe it's the area that he, the thing is, it could have been, say he was married, his wife was Irish,
Yes.
that's where she was from. He had never been there.
Okay.
She's died, he's dying, he wants to go and see there before he dies. So he goes back there to visit.
Okay.
So he knows of the place. He's got an emotional connection, but not personally.
So it's easy then. Hey, or do you know a Austrian man who disappeared whose wife was from Ireland?
Solved.
Solved. No, I mean, yeah, I'm being a little not facetious, but I'm sitting here just. But honestly, it.
But is he Austrian, like you said?
Should be easy.
Yeah, it should be easy. That's the thing, though. But like you say, I never thought about that before. I just took the fact that because he's had a German accent and the fact that he wrote down Austria, I didn't even think about that. That could have been a fake accent. His dad could have been Austrian. So he could know Austria. Yeah. He could speak in a German accent quite easily because I've got a friend whose mum's Scottish. She can speak. She's English, but she can speak in a really, really good, broad Scottish accent.
Yeah.
But she's not Scottish, So could it be that that's the case? Maybe he was from Austria originally.
I mean, okay, let me ask you this. If you were going to go somewhere and you have to get an address and you were going to give a fake address.
Yeah. You'd do it close to something you know.
You'd know. Yeah. Something that would make sense, right?
That's right. Something that sounded Austrian. Because if I said to you, give me an Austrian address, you'd be like, I don't know.
I don't know.
Exactly. So he's obviously got some kind of idea about spellings. He knows that Wien is Wien is how they write Vienna.
Yeah.
So you've got to know that. So I wouldn't know that. I would just write Vienna.
Vienna, me too.
So obviously he's got to know something about Austria to know roughly that address. Because they say, don't they, the most convincing way to lie is to lie very closely to what you already know. So perhaps he knows of Austria or, he grew up there maybe.
So then
what if he grew up in Austria?
Saying is,
married, and what if he grew up in Austria, came over to England or something, found a girl from Derry or wherever, found a girl from Sligo. They got married, lived in England. She died. He wanted to go back to there. Then he would fly into Derry because it's the easiest way to fly in. Go. But he is Austrian, but he lived all his life in England.
Yeah. That's a very good point. Because here's the thing, with a German accent, you don't lose. I mean, no. It changes over time, but you don't lose it. No. I've known older people. There used to be a German couple that lived across the alley from me. If you know what an alley is, but I'm saying that because I don't know if you know what the hell an alley is.
I know what an alley is,
but they live across the alley. Who, they had lived in the United States for years and years and years, but they had this very, very thick German accent. Yeah, right.
Still,
and then there's. Yeah, and then I knew another older couple who the guy was from the United States, his wife was from Germany, and still like they had been married for 20, 30 years, lived in the United States, and still she had a very, very thick German accent.
And to you, they would have a thick German accent, but maybe if she went back to Germany, they would think that her accent had changed quite a lot.
Exactly.
So in Ireland, they would think his accent was thick German, but actually, if he had gone to Germany with it, maybe it wouldn't have sounded so thick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is going to be one of those cases. Again, this is going to be just like Mostly Harmless, where I'm not going to be able to rest until we know who he is, where he came from. And it happened. Yeah. This can be solved. This was only 2009. We did it with the Ben by Lemmy case. We got that solved. This one can be solved. There's a way to solve this. The way to solve this is to get his picture out there, circulated as much as possible, because somebody somewhere is going to look at him and go, oh my God, that's Ted. I haven't seen him in years. Oh my God, he's dead.
Well, yeah, because if you know the story, you know this as Peter Bergmann, the guy from Austria.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, who in Austria went missing? Yeah. Well, you're looking in the wrong place.
Because that's not his name.
Well, yeah, it's not his name. And he's not going to be, guy missing from Austria. He could be a guy missing from Manchester.
Yeah, exactly. He could be the German dude on the corner, and his name's actually Bob.
Yeah. It could be, yeah.
So So take the picture from our socials and just share it everywhere you can think about, because
Mhm.
I've got a feeling in my belly that this case will be solved. I've got a feeling somebody is going to see
Yeah.
that. Obviously not because of us, but I think that somebody somewhere is going to see that picture. The thing is, how many times have you heard about this case?
Me?
Yep.
Myself?
Yep.
Maybe twice.
There you go.
Maybe twice.
So how many times have you seen his picture?
Once.
Right. So I didn't know about this
Yeah.
case until Emma messaged me and said, take a look
Yeah.
at this. And I'm how far from Ireland? Not very far.
Yeah.
So if I don't know about it, no one I know knows about it. That means that there's a possibility that quite a lot of people in England, a not very far neighbouring country, knows about
Yeah.
this.
See, it wasn't until you started the story, and it wasn't until at some point I was like, I need to look at these pictures that she's talking about. And then as soon as I saw the pictures, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember this case.
Yeah.
But it's not one you think about.
No. And that's the thing. I think that all it needs is these pictures being more widely
Uh-huh.
circulated for someone. I mean, Interpol, they already checked, and already they said that Le Monde paper said that they had already said in Vienna that nobody had come forward with them. Well, if that's the case,
Yeah.
then why not? Why isn't this being shared more?
Well, here's the thing. It's kind of like it could be just like Ben Bellamy, right?
Yeah.
Where no one knew that he was missing
No.
because that's just his character.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a gentleman who lost a wife and
Yeah.
they didn't have kids, right? So
Yeah.
there's no kids to go or no grandkids to go, oh, what happened to dad
That's
or what
right.
happened to granddad?
Yeah.
So that no one's reporting it. He could just be Uncle John
Yeah.
who
No one really
was a
bothers
little
about.
eccentric. Yeah, no
Yeah.
one bothered about.
That's right. And it could be that
So yeah,
this could be solved the same way that the mostly harmless case was solved, in
yeah.
that somebody sees a picture on Facebook and goes, "Whoa, hang on a minute, that was so and so," and then they read it and realize that he's dead. That's how this is going to be solved. This will be solved by the power of social media. I swear.
Yeah. I believe that this Peter Bergmann, whoever he is, his plan was to go onto the water and disappear.
Mm.
I think that's he didn't plan on coming back
No,
from the
I
ocean.
agree with you. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. But he's got some kind of connection to Sligo, because out of all the places in the world you could go, there
He
has to be a
has to.
reason that he went there.
Yeah.
So I think the same.
Yeah.
And I would be very interested to know where those letters went. And I would like to know, I wonder why. Wonder why he has, because if you're just going to go and kill yourself anyway, why go to so much trouble to hide who you are?
Yeah.
There's got to be a reason. He's hiding from somebody. He's hiding this information from someone. Because otherwise, why do it? You just put all your bags on the beach and plop off into the sea.
Yeah, it's
It
insane.
is. So that is this week's case. Another mostly harmless case. I do this to myself all the time.
Yeah.
It's these sorts of cases. See, our listeners know that these are the sort of cases that catch me right in the heartstrings, and they know that I'm going to look into this if you send it to me.
Oh, I just read this. Yeah, just see. Yeah, he has grave unmarked. Yeah.
Unmarked grave in Sligo. I'd like to go over, actually. And Emma, funnily enough, the lady that suggested this case to us, she said she recently went to Sligo and she actually retraced some of his steps.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she said it's a case that's really got to her too. And she said, she brought up a brilliant point and said, even if he was said in the letters he was going to die, she thinks that somebody would still try and find him with the postmark. And she said, I wonder how he knew to avoid those certain CCTV cameras. Because you never see him post the
Yeah,
letters.
why would you do that?
And you never see him actually dumping the contents of the purple bag. So how did he know that there was those certain CCTV cameras to avoid being detected doing what he was doing? Because he's obviously putting that stuff somewhere. I know, it's just
Okay.
it's crazy, isn't it?
Oh my god! I just had another thought.
Okay, go on.
And this is whack job Morgan talking right now.
Okay.
What if the man that was found on the beach wasn't the Peter Bergmann that was seen in the bus station? That wasn't the Peter Bergmann that had checked in to the bed and breakfast in Sligo. The only reason I say this is because looking at these pictures,
Yeah.
I see. I can look at these and say those are two different men.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
No. Wait, let me get them up. No, they're
Yes.
not. They're the same men.
Yes. No. Look at this. Okay, so the picture. Okay, so you need to put this up on your Instagram.
I will, yeah.
Wherever,
I'll put it
right?
up on the Instagram, yeah.
So there's one picture that has 4 different pictures on it.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah, that's the montage I did. Yeah.
Okay, the montage. Okay, so the first picture, big picture, with him wearing that dress shirt, whatever.
Yeah.
Where it kind of looks like he's smiling.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's got a cigarette in his mouth, hasn't he?
Compare that guy to the guy in the box next to that one on the bottom side. Those look like 2 different men to me.
No, they look like the same man.
Yes, no, you're crazy.
They don't. They look like the same guy.
I think it's. I'm just saying this is whack job more.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
absolutely wrong, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
hypothetically.
Could it be 2 different guys?
What if it was a guy who's like he does okay because that would explain this guy doesn't want to be seen, he doesn't want anyone to know him, so he is going over some elaborate plot to stage someone's death, and that he disappears into the blue.
Yeah,
I know, doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Don't DM me on this. No one DM me on this and tell me that I'm crazy, because I know I'm crazy. I know this is insane.
I just want to know what was in that.
DM me.
I want to know what was in that purple bag. Every day he's got this purple carrier bag with him, a thin purple carrier bag every single day. What the hell
is
he
done? Store bag?
Yeah,
is it like a store bag?
Yeah, it's just a purple thin plastic bag.
What stores have purple bags?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Not many stores have purple
2009.
bags.
2009 purple carrier bag. Let's have a look.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just looking to see if there's anything similar on Google. They're not thin enough. They look quite thick. Amazon. There's no. I can't see any. I can't see any shops that have specifically a purple carrier bag. But the purple carrier bag was missing anyway. By the time he went into the sea, it's missing. So it's not as if we can like double check it either. But let's see. 2009 shops that have.
I mean, yeah, it could have been just like a small little local place.
Yeah, it could be
purple bag.
Or it could be from a different. It could be from a different country. That's the problem.
Yeah. Who knows where it's from?
I can't see any. Yeah, I can't see anything that's comes up straight away. But yeah, it's very interesting. So I'll put the pictures up on our socials so you can have a look. There is one of him. I don't know whether I should put the one of him at the autopsy, but then that does show his face very clearly and very close up, and it is on the internet everywhere. So I'll just put a little disclaimer on that one first.
It's interesting because he definitely has some sort of injuries on his face, right?
I think
first off, I can say there looks like. Oh, go ahead.
I think that's where he was lying face down. I think that's
okay.
I think that's
on his
lividity.
eye.
Yeah, I think that's lividity.
Well, no, yeah. So it looks like there might be like a scar or something
scratch
on the
his
eye.
Chin. Yeah.
Look at the chin.
Yeah.
Is that a scratch or is that a scar? And then there's that line that goes from his eyebrow up the middle of his forehead.
I think that is where his head is creased, though. I think that's where the blood hasn't been able to settle in his forehead.
Okay.
But yeah, the eye, obviously you can see he's got it looks like he's got a cut on his eyelid and his chin is scratched. But could that, it's interesting. I haven't been able, did try and get the autopsy report for this as well, because I wanted to ask our death investigator friend about the autopsy to see if there was anything in it that was interesting. But apparently it says, as far as I could find out without the actual autopsy report, it says that everything was negative. So that shows that there's no remarkable sightings of anything. So
okay.
But so let us know what you think. Yeah, let us know what you think. Have a look at the pictures on our socials and see, what do you think he was doing? Like, what do you think the situation was? What was he hiding from? Or, I'd be interested to see other people's theories, because I didn't even entertain the fact that he might not be from Austria. So just talking to you, that's a whole new set of questions.
It's just weird. Just showing up in Derry.
Yeah.
Just it just stood out to me like that.
Yeah. It's interesting, isn't it?
It is. Like, why would you catch a bus from Derry to go to Sligo, right?
Yeah, why Sligo?
So you have to be in Derry for a specific reason. If you're coming from out of the country, why Derry? Why aren't you taking a bus directly from
that's right.
anywhere Dublin straight to Sligo?
Interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Well, okay. So, more interesting stuff. What about our dumb criminal for this week? Do you have a one for us?
I do have one for us. So, hey, Captain, let's do a little dumb criminal.
Hey, Captain Stupid Poopy Pants. Use a dummy.
I love the way he says that. Use a dummy.
Use a
So
dummy.
Randy Savage.
Use a dummy.
I love it.
All right, Cherry. So I've asked you this maybe once or twice already when we've done dumb criminals. There are definitely places that if you are involved in a crime or if you've committed a crime, you should never run to, right?
We done this, didn't we? Definitely don't run to a prison because you're a
Don't run
dummy
to
if
prison.
you do. Don't run to a police
Don't
station.
run to prison. Yep, don't do that. Well, this week's dumb criminal is yet another gentleman who ran and tried to seek shelter in a wrong place. Okay. So a 21-year-old by the name of Milton Hodges was charged with attempted robbery, attempted battery, and burglary after he took a pair of scissors and put it against the neck of a cashier at a Lowe's home improvement store in Kissimmee, Florida.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Now, that cashier was able to break free and get help while Mr. Hodges allegedly went to another cashier and demanded money. Now, after the robbery, he took off and then jumped a wall to get away from the police, where he stole a golf cart. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, unfortunately, this wall that he scaled was the wall to the Cypress Cove nudist resort, where, to say the least, he was easily identified,
slightly overdressed,
and taken into custody.
Oh, what an idiot. He should have taken his clothes off first. Just like lay down. No one would have known.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? I'm a nudist.
I've been here the whole time.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Whole time. What's up, man? Yeah. So if you are a criminal and you're trying to get away from police, you do not you don't go to the place where you will stand out like a Thor's thumb.
You're the only one.
I don't know. A nudist colony.
Oh, great. I love that. That's brilliant. How did you spot him? Well, it was really difficult, but we just sort of whittled it down.
Anyone here with clothes on, please raise your hand.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
Come with me.
That's right. That's the police must have loved that.
No.
The dumb criminals get better every week. They get better every week.
No nudist camp. No nudist colonies. No police stations.
No prisons.
No prisons. Do not run there, okay?
That's brilliant. That's great. That's a great dumb criminal. Thank you for that.
No problem.
So we will be back next week with another episode for you. It'll be Morgan's episode next week. And in the meantime, find us on our socials. You can find us. We're everywhere. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter sometimes. So yeah, come and find us. Instagram if you want a quicker answer. So come along and tell us what you think about this case and whether we're absolutely going mad.
I think we are. We have gone mad.
I think we have gone mad. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But hopefully somebody will think of something that no one else has thought of. It's just the whole Interpol thing and why nobody else knows about another country. That's what does it for me. We'll see.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see.
Yep, exactly.
So for now, thank you for joining us. We will be back next week. Be nice.
And goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye now.
Bye now.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.